Hey guys, welcome. Today's practice is going to focus on binds, which sometimes can be a little counterintuitive or can seem counterintuitive. I think so often in our practice, we're working to create space, right? To unwind the tight spaces and expand and open up where it might not normally be. And a lot of binds do the opposite, right? They get us into these kind of bendy, twisty, compressed places, which might feel the opposite of what we're ultimately trying to accomplish. But compression really has its benefits too. It's what we do when we're doing massage or foam rolling, right? We're getting that compression within the tissue so then that there's this great rush of blood flow of lymphatic tissue or lymphatic fluid that moves through after that. So in today's practice, we'll create that space, open things up so that we can get into the binds and then just notice the sensation, right? What benefits does compression have versus sometimes the expansion that we tend to favor just because that feels really good too. So I would say have a strap. You can even just use a belt, a scarf, anything like that, but that'll be really beneficial. And if you have a couple blocks, have them handy. You might even want to have them right up at the front of your mat to start with. So we're going to go ahead and start in Vajrasana. So you'll bring your knees together, inner edges of your calves together, untuck your toes. So tops of your feet are down and then sit back on your heels. And for some of us, this isn't the best for knees. Couple options. You could slide a blanket behind your knees or a pillow works great. Throw a pillow from your couch. You could take a cross-legged seat if this doesn't work. So to find a variation that works with you. And that goes through all of practice. And if you're someone who has a good amount of range of motion here and you want a little bit more, you can take it into Virasana, keep knees together but heels apart and sit back in between your heels or even sit on a block in between your heels. So all that to say that there is a lot of different options. Find what's going to work best for you today. And then you can close your eyes. Put a little pressure into the tops of your feet so it doesn't feel like we're just dumping the weight there. So you get that rebound effect that feels like it starts to draw things back up. Find a little tone through your belly. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. And then just let your shoulders drop down and back. Right, so get that length along the neck, openness through the chest. Take a few full breaths. That might be in through your nose, out through your mouth. That might just be a couple deeper breaths through your nose. Let's see what feels good to help you start to settle into the practice. It does not have to be anything special or specific. And as you do that, just let your attention really start to settle to your breath. See if that can help you shift from whatever you're doing before this into that space of your practice. And then just really gently open your eyes, grab your strap. You can take your strap long in front of you, so unwind it. If you're using the strap, I like to hold the buckle end, otherwise it just kind of clanks around everywhere. And then make a nice wide V out in front of you. You'll be able to adjust this if you need to as we go. You'll see how that works. Just take those same little adjustments you just did a moment ago, pressing the tops of your feet. A little tone through your belly, lengthen your spine so you're sitting tall and well. And with your inhale, reach both arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, start to take your hands back. You might need a little wider there, so just see what works well. Inhale, bring both arms back up overhead. And then exhale, hands back down in front of you. Okay, just start to move like that with your breath. If you've been practicing with me for a while, you know I love this one. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, arms back. So you want to find that place where there's a little sensation, but you're not forcing, there's no pain. And you're moving with your breath. Inhale, reach up. So you might have to take the strap wider or narrower. And then exhale, come forward. Good. Reach up, inhale, stay tall, tone through the belly. And then exhale, come back. Try to work smoothly through those little glitchy paces. Good. Back up, inhale. This is one I could do over and over and over again. Exhale, hands forward. Good. Let's take one more like that. Reach up, inhale. This time though, when you get to that point that feels like your good point of sensation, and that might be a little different for everybody, just take a moment to pause. Give a little traction with your hand so it feels like you're pulling the strap apart and lengthening out through your arms. Stay sitting tall and breathing, whatever you do, breathing. Okay, then let it come all the way back down towards your heels. Inhale, reach both arms all the way up, and when you get all the way up, stay. And if it feels really wide, you could take arms a little bit closer together here so it's more like a V or a narrower V. See what feels good. You want to be able to find that little bit of a traction again as you pull the arms apart. Yeah, so it just feels like there's some tension on your belt, your scarf, whatever you've got. You take a full breath and lengthen up through your spine. And then exhale, keep your arms like that, but twist to your right. Keep pressing down through the tops of your feet. Right. Stretching apart with your arms. And then draw your right ribs back. So you're moving from that inner strength of your body. Good. Come back to center, inhale. And then exhale to your left. Right. Left ribs back, spine tall. Keep pressing to the tops of your feet. Right. We're also sneaking in a little compression here through the knees, which can be intense. So be mindful if you need to come out, but also just that same, we're getting that full range of motion. We'll be inviting blood flow back in through there. Inhale, come back to center. One more from here. Exhale, side bend to your right. Right. Keep the tension on the strap. Lift your sternum up. Right. Keep your gaze forward so it doesn't feel like you're hunching forward. Right. Just gaze straight forward. And feel like you could square your shoulders as you tilt over. Sometimes the right shoulder really likes to come back. Okay, back through center, inhale. And then to your left, exhale. Keep the tension on the strap. We're almost there. Keep rooting down through your feet, through your sitting bones. Gaze forward, chest lifted. Inhale, come back to center. Whew, exhale, hands down. Just take a couple of big rolls of your shoulder. A lot of work there for the shoulders, getting a little heat building, then getting them warmed up. And then you can set your strap just over to the side. We're going to need it right around the side of the mat next, so you can just keep it right there. And then go ahead, come off your block, come forward to tabletop. Before anything else, we'll just set your hands where they feel supportive. Stretch your right leg out behind you with your toes down, and then just take a little rock back and forth on the ball of your foot. So you can open up now through the knees, ankles, just see what that sensation is after that good compression on the knees, right? Backs and the knees especially. We don't always get that really full range of motion through the knee during the day. Okay, other side. Unless you squat a lot, some people do. And then go ahead, find tabletop. Take a moment to really stack your foundation here. So shoulders over wrists. Spread wide through your hands, right? And take your hands wide enough. Your pinkies might even come to the outer edges of the mat. Root down into all 10 fingertips. Good. Keep that inhale, drop your belly, look forward, cow pose. And then as you exhale, round, chin to chest, press down into your hands. Good. Take that with your breath. Inhale, come forward, arch your back, look forward. And then exhale, round. So cat-cow. Stay rooted through your hands for support. And just start to find that full range of motion through your spine, like a nice ripple effect. Warming up, lubricating the joints. And let the shoulder blades glide forward and back too with the action. So sometimes it feels like it comes all through the pelvis. Sometimes it feels like it comes all through the shoulders. See if you can find the balance of both. And then the next time you come to cat pose, stay there. Right? So you have that rounding of your back. Take your left hand, slide it behind your right, come to rest on the side of your head so you're in thread the needle. And then you're going to reach your right arm up, turn your palm back,
Bend your elbow and reach back. So you might take the back of your hand to your low back or your sacrum. You might reach it around to see where it feels like there's enough space in the shoulder right now. But then root down through the back of your left arm. Squeeze your right shoulder, so the one that's wrapped and bound around there. Squeeze your right shoulder blade in towards your spine. Let's see if that can guide you into the twist a little bit more. Right, so we start to get a little compression in the shoulder here, just starting to warm up that action. Take another breath. And with your next inhale, unwind. Plant your hands. Come back tabletop, and you can take a round of cat-cow in between. Sometimes just nice to get a little bit of movement in between the binds. And then this time when you come to your cat pose, switch sides. So right hand behind your left, come to rest on the side of your head. Lift your left arm up. Turn your palm back, so you're getting the rotation of the shoulder, and then reach back. And so that might be back of hand to low back, sacrum. That might be sneaking it around to the crease of the thigh. That might be somewhere in between. Right, with your right hand, the one that's long and down on the ground, make sure your palm's turned up. And then press into the back of your hand, back of your arm. Engage there. Right, with your left shoulder, squeeze shoulder blade in towards your spine. And see if that helps to roll you into the twist a little bit. And if it feels like the left hip wants to creep way up towards the left shoulder, you can invite it back a little bit. Keep space there. Next, inhale, unwind. Come back to tabletop. Set your hands as your foundation. And then go ahead one more time. Just take a round of cat-cow. You can even really lead from the shoulder blades here and get some range of motion back there. And then as you come back to neutral, walk your hands forward, just about a palm print. Again, spread wide, root down through your fingertips, and then lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice and long front to back. You might even have a little bend in your knees. It feels like some more space there would be helpful. Right, but start to send your heels down towards the mat as you squeeze your kneecaps up towards your thighs. So just getting the legs strong. And then with your hands, really press down and forward. Stretch your hips up and back. Lots of space in the spine. Let your head be heavy. Take a couple full breaths. For some people, I know you like to really pedal out your knees here. Just find a little movement that feels good. Sometimes it feels just good just to hold. And really allow your body to settle into this pose. Sometimes a good checkpoint. If you practice a lot, it's one we do often, so it feels like lets you know how your body's doing today. Right? If you're new to yoga, one that's great to practice over and over and over again. Just one more full breath. And then from here, just nice and slow, walk your feet towards your hands, come to the front of your mat. Right, take your big toes together or feet hip width. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Press down into your feet, stretch the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway, strong legs. Exhale, fold. This time with your inhale, strong legs still. Inhale, come all the way up, reach arms up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Take a breath. Take a moment to find your foundation here, right, as you root through your feet. Draw your kneecaps up so the legs are strong. Quads are strong. Low belly up. Stand tall. Okay, and then take your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. Take a good bend in your elbow, like give yourself some space, and then see if you can try to work the heels of your hands towards one another. So it's less about pulling the hands apart, more about trying to draw them together to see how that feels in your body. Okay, and then with your
inhale, lift your chest, press into your feet. And as you exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward. You might keep your legs straight here. You might take a nice bend into your knees if it wants a little bit more space. Let your head get heavy, right? Keep your legs engaged so it feels like you're hugging the muscles into the bone. And then your thumbs might stay right here where they're at, or you start to lift your knuckles up towards the ceiling. Maybe they even come up and over. Everyone's really different, so just listen to what works for your body here. I know for me in this pose, the weight always tends to go all the way back on the heels. See if you can shift a little bit forward. Right? Sometimes that feels like you're starting to tip forward, tip over, find that balance point of enough, but not too much. And then just a hair of a twist here. Dip your right shoulder towards your right knee, right? Wherever your hands are, you can do this. Take a breath. Come back to center. And then left shoulder towards left knee, left shin, right? Just moving in that direction. So just a hair of a twist with the shoulder opener. Inhale, come back to center. Root down through your feet. So use your strong legs. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release your hands. Bring your hands together at your heart. Take a breath. And then go ahead and bring your feet together if they're not already. Right? Find a focus point on the wall in front of you, something that can help you steady your gaze. And then stand into your left foot, tree pose on the right side. So you can do heel, right? Heel to your shin, right? Up a little bit higher, maybe to the upper inner thigh. Just try to be above or below the knee so you're not pressing right into the knee. And sometimes the toes down are nice for a little kickstand if the balance is wonky today. And then take your arms out wide. Turn your thumbs down and then reach around. A couple options here. You can do hands or fist to fist. Can be a nice way to get the engagement. Or reverse prayer, so hands to prayer position behind your back. And it doesn't work for everyone's wrists, so you can try the fist to fist. That kind of all ended up rhyming. Okay, back to your foundation. Root down into your left foot. Press your right sole of your foot into your left inner thigh, right? So hug into the midline. Tone your belly. And then either press your fists or press your palms together. See if you can widen your elbows and lengthen up through the crown of your head. Breathe. And then with your next exhale, slowly release your hands, reach both arms up, take a breath in. And then exhale, both hands or both feet down, hands to heart. Switch sides, stand into your right foot, and then bring the left up, right? So you can do heel to your inner shin, foot to your calf, or sole of your foot to your upper inner thigh. It can be different side to side. Okay, arms out wide, inhale. Turn thumbs down, and then bring arms back. Fists or hands to prayer. Good. Root through your foundation, so press into the right foot. Squeeze your right kneecap up. Then press your left foot and right inner thigh into center. Tone your belly. And then as you press your hands or fists together, I feel like you could draw your shoulder blades in towards your spine. That might even widen through your elbows. Notice where your breath is. Good. Next, inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, both feet down, hands together at your heart. Good. Sweep up, inhale. Hinge, fold forward, exhale. Lift halfway, take a breath in, right? Find that length back in the spine, space in the shoulders.
Exhale, fold, plant hands, step back to high plank pose, top of a push-up. Just like we did in tabletop and in down dog, root through your hands, find that firm foundation. Take a breath in. And then on your exhale, either with bent knees for support or straight legs, lower all the way down. Point your elbows straight back. And then take your hands out a little wider so they come off of your mat. Come up onto your fingertips. You're going to stack elbows over wrists. Press the tops of your feet down. Inhale, lift up through head, chest, shoulders. Exhale, dip left shoulder over to the right. Good. Back through center, inhale. Right shoulder over to the left, exhale. Good. Through center. And then go ahead, just do one more each side. Dip across. Use the strength of your back to come back. And then dip over other side. Through center, inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. And then with your hands by your ribs, stretch back, down dog. Take 2 full breaths. Press hands down and forward. Lift hips up and back. Anchor back through heels. Enough to touch. And next, inhale, reach your left leg up and back. Exhale, step all the way through. And then just take a moment to ground your foundation. So left knee over left ankle. And up on the ball of the back foot. So just take a long enough stance front to back. And with your inhale, come all the way up, crescent lunge. Find your balance. Can even take your left foot out a little wider if you want some more steadiness. And then hug your inner legs to center. Squeeze into midline. Invite the outer left hip back. And really press into the ball of your back foot. Right, with strong legs, reach your arms up. Engage all the way to fingertips. You might even lift chest a little bit or start to tip your gaze up. Right, be mindful, we don't need to throw the head all the way back. Think about one nice long curve of the spine instead of a curve of the spine and then the head back. Full breath in. And then exhale, turn and plant your back heel, open out wide, warrior 2. And if you need to take a longer stance or shorter stance, keeping front knee over ankle, do that. With arms out wide, inhale. And then exhale, wrap, left arm underneath right, eagle arms. You can do hands to shoulders, great variation, or you can do wrap of your hands. Either way, you can see we're going to get that compression at the front of the chest. Okay, and just a little foundational work here. Squeeze your heels towards one another so you get strong legs. Press into the pinky edge of your front foot. Right, so we want to keep the knee from falling into center. And stay rooted through your back foot. And then lift your elbows up so they're in line with your shoulders. Point your fingertips just slightly away from your forehead. Just notice where you feel a little compression, a little squeeze. And next, inhale, unwind, reach your arms all the way up. And then pivot your feet to the long end of your mat. And you might have to organize your feet so they're parallel to one another. Go ahead, grab your strap. And you can place it over your left shoulder. Inhale, reach both arms up. And then take your right arm, bend your elbow, reach behind you. I'm not doing the mirror of you guys. Sometimes it shows up on here, sometimes it doesn't. It's really funny. Bring your left arm out to the side. Turn your thumb down. And then reach your left arm behind your back. You can grab your strap. It might be right there. Right hand can grab your strap as well. If your fingertips touch, great, you can do that. Right? You might have this behind you. If maybe we ended up with the strap on the wrong side, it's more comfortable on the other side. Do that. Right? Find what works best in your body. And then press down into the soles of your feet. Squeeze kneecaps up. Tone belly. And then really reach your right elbow up towards the ceiling and your left elbow down. Traction the strap just a little bit like we did at the beginning. And then as you inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, hinge and fold forward. Go slowly. So the elbows are going to want to drop with gravity here, especially this right one. Keep it pressing up as you fold forward. All right, you might bend your knees a little as you come down. Keep that traction on the strap. And then feel here like you could press the back of your head into your hand or your wrist, whatever's there. And like before in that forward fold, the weight might be coming all the way back. Bring it forward a little bit. And then let the spine get long. Take a couple breaths. Right, sometimes different positions get us into things that feel a little awkward. Awkward's okay, no pain, right? We don't want pain. Move away from pain, give yourself more space. Awkward when you get into those little compression spots, that's okay. This might mean it's somewhere we don't usually work. And then from that strength of your legs, inhale, come all the way back up. Ooh, reach both arms up, inhale. And then turn your palms out, press down, exhale. Okay, set your strap off to the side. We'll do the other side in just a moment. Okay, both arms up, inhale, big breath in, open chest. Exhale, hands forward or hands down. Walk to the back of your mat. Plant your hands, step back, high plank towards the back of your mat. Full breath in, tone through your belly, root through your hands. And then with your exhale, bent knees or straight legs, lower all the way down. Okay, and then do that same, take your hands out a little wider. You can come off of your mat, stack your elbows over your wrists, come up onto your fingertips like little tents. Inhale, lift up through head, chest, shoulders. Try to stay light through your fingers. Use the strength of your back and the root of your feet. Exhale, dip your right shoulder over to the left. Back through center. Left shoulder towards the right. Good. Inhale, center. Right shoulder across. Through center, inhale. And then left shoulder across. Okay, one more time, come back to center. Lower all the way down. Bring your hands by your ribs and stretch back, down dog. Same thing, just take a couple breaths. And settle back into this neutral position. And the strength in the foundation. And lengthen your spine. Inhale, reach your right leg up and back. Exhale, step all the way through. And right, so right knee over right ankle. If you need to grab your ankle, scoot it forward a little bit, do that. And then up on the ball of your back foot. Your inhale, come all the way up, crescent lunge, reach your arms up. Maybe the right foot comes a little bit wider if you want more space. Squeeze your inner legs in. Your left thigh, roll the inner left thigh up. Sometimes that helps to adjust the hips. And then really press into the ball of the back foot. Lengthen up through your spine. Reach up through your arms. Maybe you find a hair of a back bend. But again, just be mindful of the head. It feels like the head's like if you're looking all the way up towards the ceiling, what would it feel like instead just to look to where the wall meets the ceiling? Okay, with your next exhale, turn and plant your back heel. Open out warrior two. Adjust the feet again if you need to so that knee is over ankle. You feel like long but stable stance front to back. Arms out wide, inhale. And then right arm underneath left, exhale. A little squeeze of your heels in. And you can do the wrap of the hands or hands to shoulders. Okay, and then lift your elbows up in line with your shoulders. point your fingertips away. And then squeeze your arms. So think about all those points that are touching, squeeze in. So we're getting in that little bit of compression now on the front of the chest. Take a couple breaths. And with your inhale, unwind, straighten your front leg. Turn your toes again to the long end of your mat. Parallel your feet. Grab your strap. If you don't need it, right, if you've that grasp with the fingertips or just want to grab your shirt, great, do that. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, bend your left arm. You can even help it. Don't push, don't force, just give it a little assistance. Right arm out. Turn your thumb down and then reach around. Grab the strap, grab your shirt, hook your fingertips if they're there. Okay, and then press down from your hips into your feet. And pull your kneecaps up, strong legs. Traction, your hands apart, whatever they're holding. Take a full breath in, get long, and then exhale nice and slow, hinge forward. Even here, you can think about pressing the back of your head into your hand so that things stay supported and engaged as you fold forward. All right, you can bend knees a little or a lot. And if this doesn't work for the forward fold, if you want to stay upright and do it, do that. If you want to forward fold and release the strap and the bind, then do that. Right, always suggestions. Make the practice work for you today. Right, wherever you're at, just take a couple more breaths. And stay engaged with your hands tractioning and the back of your head snuggling into your wrist, your hand, whatever's there. And then with your strong legs, inhale, come all the way up. And slowly unwind, reach both arms up. And then turn your palms out and exhale, press down. My teacher who taught me that once years ago, and I just always thought it felt so good to like re-engage and open the shoulders after. Okay, set your strap off to the side. We're not done quite yet with that. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, fold, walk yourself to the front of your mat. Step back, high plank. Full breath in. And with your exhale, you can either lower halfway to chaturanga or come all the way down. Okay, cobra pose or upward facing dog. So this time elbows just straight back, lift up head, chest, shoulders. Exhale, lower down, stretch back, down dog. And just take one full breath. Inhale, reach your left leg up and back. Exhale, bring left knee behind left wrist, pigeon pose. Right, so you can bring your knee out a little wider than the hip. I'm going to switch sides a couple times, demo some things. Right, sometimes that just gives a little bit more space. You could always slide your block underneath your hip, especially if it feels like you're lilted way off to the side or just want a little bit more height. And or you could always take a figure 4 on your back if that feels like a better place for your body today. Right, once you're all set up, make sure that your right leg is straight, hip, knee, ankle. A little squeeze of your inner legs. And then you can start to walk your upper body forward. You're not going to stay super long. We're not quite at the end of practice, which is sometimes what we think when we get to this pose. Go ahead and keep pressing down through the outer edge of your front shin. Right. Just gives you, again, that little rebound effect so that the pelvis is still supported, even as we're coming forward, asking for this big opening in the hip. And then you can draw the crease of your left hip back. Just take another couple full breaths. And then walk yourself back up. Okay, you're going to sit off onto your left hip and bring your right foot all the way around step outside of your left leg, right? And if this does not feel like it's working great for you, because it doesn't for everybody, stretch your left leg out. Sometimes that gives you a little bit more space. You could even sit up on something if that feels helpful too. Okay, we're going to take the strap and just sneak it in between that little keyhole of your legs and bring the edges of the strap around. Okay, start with your right hand behind you. Inhale, reach your left arm up. So root down through your sitting bones, stretch long and tall. So we create the space first, right? Then take your elbow, left elbow outside your right thigh. Okay, we'll take this in stages. You might be like, I'm staying right here today, Amy, that feels great, right? Or next stage, you take your right hand behind you, grab the little tail end of the strap that's there, right? Maybe it's there. Just take a moment to lengthen up again through your spine. And then you either stay here, right? So some great work in the shoulder and the twist. Where you're going to take your left hand, almost just like you're pressing your palm down and reach for the strap here. Okay, and you might still have pretty wide hands. You might be able to snuggle that hand, left hand a little closer to the right. So there's maybe a little less space on the strap. Maybe your hands are super wide apart, either way. Right. Root your seat, lengthen your spine, and then twist towards your right. Right, we get some compression in the shoulders and in the belly. A lot of great bound up work going on here that then the blood flow comes rushing back in. Right. Just be mindful you can still breathe, right? Sometimes we get ourselves into these twisty places, we lose the breath a little bit. Inhale, unwind, release the strap. You can set the strap again off to the side. And then just swing your right leg back around behind you. Plant your hands, step back down dog. Just take a moment, find the space here. So press hands down and forward, send chest back, take a full breath. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee behind right wrist. All right, so taking the knee out, maybe a little wider than the hip. For many of us, that's a better place to be, but I say that, but some of us have knee and hip, so we make it work. But just thoughts on general alignment. Straighten out through your left leg. And again, figure four on your back, always an option. Hug your legs in, and then start to fold forward. You can come forearms, you can stack your hands and come all the way down. Like we did on the other side, just press a little bit into the outer right shin and draw the crease of your right hip back. And so where is there some space, but also support? A little softness without just collapsing into the pose. Couple breaths. And then walk yourself back up. Sit off onto your right hip and swing your left leg around, right? Again, if you want to straighten out through the right leg, great option here. Settle down through both hips, right? Wiggle them out. And then let's do that same. Take your strap, weave it in between that little keyhole of your leg right there. Left hand behind you. Inhale, right arm up. And as you reach up, lengthen, lift from the root of your seat. And then elbow to your knee. Okay, knowing where we're going, maybe you say, great, I'm going to stay here. Or you reach around with your left hand to take the tail of the strap that's by your right hip. Right, this is sometimes where our rights and lefts get funny. And then maybe stay there. Or like you're going to press your right hand down, press, 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 and then reach. You might just grab the strap that's right there. You might snuggle your hand a little bit more underneath the leg and grab wherever you can for the strap. All right, then sometimes I find I'm in this very awkward position. So you stay rooted, Lift up through your spine, and then twist left ribs back. All right, can you find your breath even within this little bit tighter, more bound up space? If you need to back out a little bit, back out a little bit. But just notice where it feels like it's the right place for you. Okay, with your breath, unwind, inhale. Set your strap off to the side. And then swing the left leg around. Press your hands, step back, high plank. Full breath in. Okay, exhale, lower halfway chaturanga or come all the way down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, up and back, down dog. Take a couple full breaths. With your next inhale, lift to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, look forward, and then walk, step, or hop front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. If you have blocks and know that you like them for standing forward folds, go ahead and put them at the front of your mat just so we're prepared. And then with your inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring your hands together at your heart. Take a breath. Stand tall. Strengthen your legs and tone your belly. Okay, then take another full breath in. And with your exhale, bend your knees, sit back. Bring your weight into your left foot and then cross right ankle to left knee for standing figure four. So we're just in this similar shape in pigeon. Get the hips into that repetition of it. And then you can sit back as low as it feels like your body will allow with that. Stay flexed through your right foot. And just be mindful to keep the right knee up so it doesn't feel like the whole knee and hip are lilting off to the side. Anchor through your left foot. Take a breath. Find that steady gaze point. Okay, and then you're going to reach down, right hand, right knee, left hand, left foot. Right, hold on. And then straighten your right leg. Stand all the way up, holding right knee, right foot. Try and keep your chest open, right? It's probably going to want to hunch forward here, open up. Okay, and then from here, take your foot, tree pose to the right leg. And if, like before, you want to come back down with the foot down, great, like wherever the right point is for you. Okay, one option here. It's going to be for some of us, but not for sure, not all of us. Tree pose is great, awesome hip opener. If half lotus here, so taking the outer edge of your foot to the crease of your hip, that works well for you, do that. If it doesn't, or if you're not really sure how that would work well, right? Sometimes there's a great place to teach it and we'll come back to it and we'll do that. Sometimes we just know that that's an option in our bodies. Okay, root down. Press sole of foot and inner thigh in. And then inhale, reach both arms up. And with your exhale, hinge and fold forward. Here's where maybe your blocks come in handy. Stay rooted through the left foot. And sometimes here the left hip's going to sway way out to the side. Can you press your left inner thigh into your foot? And then the pinky edge of your right foot more into the leg. So just keeping the legs a little bit more aligned. Okay, with strong legs, inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, feet down, hands to heart. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back. Okay, left ankle, right knee. Sit back. Hands to heart. Right, stay here, not even thinking about what's next. Right, find your balance, your breath in this position. Stay flexed through your left foot, right? And again, just being mindful that the left knee stays up and isn't tilting way off to the side. And then take right hand, right foot, left hand, left knee. Inhale, stand up, bring your leg up, straighten your right leg. If you notice your shoulders hunching forward, you open up a little bit through your chest. And then left foot, left inner thigh or shin or down towards the ankle, whatever works well. Right, so even here, really press inner leg and foot together, and then press even a little bit more through the pinky edge of your left foot. Keep that. Inhale, both arms up. And then keep that engagement of your legs as you hinge and fold forward. Your right knee might bend a little or a lot. Your blocks might be all the way up at their highest settings. You might say, Amy, I'm just going to stay in tree pose, and that's great. Right, press left thigh in. Pinky edge of your left foot. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. Ooh, good balance. Exhale, feet down, hands to heart. Nice work, guys. Both arms up. Inhale. Hinge, fold forward. Exhale. Lift halfway, take a breath in. Hands to mat or shins or thighs. Exhale, fold, plant hands, step back, down dog. Inhale here. And then exhale, child's pose. Settle your hips back, walk your hands forward, fold in. Take a couple breaths. And slowly walk hands back in. Come up, have a seat. If you know you like to sit up on a blanket and you have one, I don't think I mentioned that at the beginning of class, but if you have one nearby or just a throw pillow, sometimes if you just notice that your hips want to collapse when you sit on the ground, the blanket's really nice. Okay. And then stretch your legs forward. Let's do this. I'm going to come sideways because of this one so you can just see things a little bit better. Okay, for a lot of us here, the strap is going to be really nice on the balls of the feet. Even if you don't usually try this, you might try it just for fun. You know, if you have a lot of range of motion here. Sit up on the edge of your blanket so it feels like the pelvis can find neutral, right? You're not rounding in and you're not overarching. Where's that middle ground? And then squeeze your kneecaps up towards your thighs, just like we did when we were standing. Roll the inner edges of your thighs down. They're not going to move a lot, but just rotates the hips. And then curl your toes back towards your body as you press the balls of your feet forward. And from there, lengthen your spine. And for many of us, this is plenty. This is a great amount of forward fold, and we just stay here. Right? If you have room, you start to walk your hands forward on the strap and fold forward, right, to wherever you get to. Here, halfway, right? If you have a little bit more room, then you just start to take your elbows out towards the sides as your chest comes forward. Right? Keep curling your toes back, but pressing especially the big toe mounds forward into your strap. Lengthen the top of your head forward towards your toes as your chest softens. And take a couple breaths. And with your inhale, come all the way back up. Release your strap off to the side. Okay, and then from here, you're going to bend your right leg, bring it in,
And then you're either going to do similar to what we just did, right hand to right knee, left hand, left foot. Right? This is a great variation. Now it's going to seem really easy because we're not trying to balance as we do it. Or you're going to take the sole of your foot to your inner elbow. Right? Again, not for everybody. Let's see if it works for you. If the ankle gets all wonky here, really flex your foot and press the outer edge of your foot, just like we just did in that tree pose. Right? You may wrap around. May, right? Here is great. Sit tall. Keep your left leg engaged and hug your shin in towards your chest. Right, so we get this nice compression on the front of the hip. Well, nice is always relative. And you can sit just like this or take a little roll around. And it gives that compression to the outer hip as it presses down into the ground, just like massage does. Okay, and then come back to center. So a couple choices from here. You're either going to come back just like that tree pose, sole of your foot to your inner leg, or you're going to point your foot and then roll, take your hands on the bottom of your shin, roll it away from you so that you're tucking the pinky edge of your foot into the crease of your hip or somewhere nearby, right? You might be trying this here. Let me come up here. And again, if the ankle feels a little wonky, well, even it does, a great adjustment here is to press into that pinky edge of your foot. Okay, it's, again, some compression on the front of the hip. All right, from here, reach your, oh, I switched it so you guys could see me because it's hard to see all the different points of the pose. Reach your right arm up, turn your palm out, and then reach all the way around. So again, you might just do hand to the low back like we've been doing, or maybe your hand comes to your foot. If you wanted to play with this with the strap, one thing you can do is take the loop of the strap on your toes and reach around here. So there's a lot of different ways to play with where this position is. Okay, and then inhale, left arm up. And then as you exhale, hinge and fold forward, right? Reach, reach, reach. And then your hand might come down for support. It might reach your foot inside or outside edge. Keep your left foot engaged, toes curling back, and lengthen the crown of your head forward. Right? And then allow the weight of your belly to soften onto your foot. Right? One of the great benefits, well, so many here, but of this pose is this compression of the belly of the foot. If and when the forward fold comes enough, right, that you get this compression of the foot into the belly, which is really great for the internal organs. So there's a good example of the bind with the compression that we've been talking about. But don't compress so much that you can't breathe. Find your breath. And then with your next inhale, come all the way up. Good. Unwind your foot. You can shake your legs out a little bit. Breathe. And then we'll switch sides. So bring the left leg in. And same thing, either foot and knee, right? Great variation there. Or sole of foot to elbow. Wrap your arm around. Flex your right foot, right? And really press into the pinky edge just like we do when we wrap it so that it keeps the ankle engaged and stable. Sit tall. Again, right, sometimes you notice you might want to hunch over. Can you find a little space? Right. Hug the shin in so you get that compression on the front of the hip. And stay here, just roll it around a little bit. Can be a nice little massage on the outer hip. Okay, come back to center. Right, so same options. You can do sole of the foot to the inner leg tree pose, right? And then when we take the bind, you just wrap around. It's a great variation. Or point your foot. And then I like to take my hand to the pinky edge and feel like I'm almost rolling it away
as I tuck it in. For some people, even a block underneath the left knee is really nice for support. Okay, if you liked that little strap to your foot option, you could set that up here. Props are great. Left arm up, inhale. Right, turn the thumb forward and then reach around. So same thing, you might just come low back. You might grab the strap. You might reach all the way around. I actually have less range of motion on this side, so I find the strap really nice. Inhale, right arm up. It's strong right leg. Exhale, reach as you fold forward. So keep the length, length, length. Almost feel like I can get your bottom of your ribs up over the top of your foot. We're just moving in that direction. Long spine. Fold in. Rest your right hand wherever it lands. Maybe it comes to the foot. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you stay pretty upright. Find your breath. And if you're folding forward enough where you can feel that compression of your foot within the belly, just notice the sensation. And sometimes a little different from when we're working to create space there. Both really have their benefits. It's getting that full range of everything, all the flavors within the practice. Good. Come all the way up, inhale. Unwind. Now you can get rid of the strap. It's really done. Set it off to the side. Come all the way down onto your back. Bend your knees. Place your feet to your mat. And then stretch your arms long by your sides, right? Just one bridge pose, a little space in the belly. Pressing your feet. Inhale, lift your hips. It doesn't have to be super high. It might just be a really gentle bridge. But lengthen your knees forward and your chest towards your chin. Take a couple full breaths into the belly. And then release your hips all the way down. Take a full round of breath. And hug your knees into your chest. Squeeze your forehead up to your knees, full breath in. And then exhale, release, Shavasana, final resting pose. If you want any variations, right, you want butterfly in your legs or any other support, something under your knees, take a moment, set up what feels good. You can close your eyes and just really allow your body to settle into the rest. If you have longer to stay, you want to stay, please do that. Otherwise, with your next inhale, take a full stretch, reach your arms up. Your exhale, draw your knees towards your chest and roll to your side.
Press all the way up. And when you come to sitting, bring your hands together at your heart. And thank you so much for sharing the practice. Namaste.